Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Monday, which means it's time for a 5x5. Now, this is a very special 5x5 because it's going to be all about Alas, Chris and Jones. Now, very quickly, let me tell you what a 5x5 is if you've never seen it before. The idea is I talk about 5 different topics related to magic. I spend 5 minutes talking about each topic. There's a countdown timer at the bottom of the screen. When the countdown reaches 0, I move on to the next topic. So it's always quick, always snappy. You never know what you're going to get. Now, a little while ago, I did a review show special with Chris Congreave, doing an interview with him. And I said this book was 100%. I said it was one of my favourite books of all time. And I meant it. The material inside this book is incredible. The theory, the everything. Like, this book is just so good. Like, this book is absolutely amazing. And I recommend everybody pick up a copy immediately. If you are into strong commercial workers, this is a book you need to get. I don't want to put my money where my mouth is. So there's 83 routines in this book. I am going to pick 5 of them, and I'm going to perform 5 of my favorite routines from this book. And we'll talk about each one, and you'll see a full performance. My goal is to get everyone to buy this book, because this book is absolutely amazing. You guys know how much I love magic. You know how much I'm a rave about magic, and I cannot put this down. So 5 tricks. 5 different tricks, all from this book. And if you guys like this, I might revisit it and do another 5 tricks from it a little bit later on. In fact, we could do this as an ongoing thing. So if you do like this, I could take a particular book and I could perform 5 routines from that book and talk about it and make it not just a review, but a full performance of some of the routines. I think that'd be a really good idea. I could probably do 4 videos on Alas, Chris and Jones on my own without needing any other books, because there's so much really good material in here. I'm going to put a link down in the description where you can get this book. You can only get it directly from Chris Congreave, and it is well worth buying. But without further ado, let's get into the first trick. Okay, so the first routine I want to talk about right here in the book is this one on page number 41. For people who've got the book, I will give you a reference so you know exactly where to learn this. Page number 41, Diminished Most Likely by Chris Congreave. What is Diminished Most Likely? Diminished Most Likely is a mashup of Paul Gordon routine and a Gary Jones routine. So Gary Jones created a routine called No Sleep, which is like a transpo between 4 aces and a selected card, and it's a transpo that happens in the spectator's hand. If you want to see that, I actually perform that routine on the review show special. So if you go check out the review show special for this book, you'll see No Sleep being performed by me. Anyway, what Chris did is he took No Sleep, combined it with a Paul Gordon routine, and created this behemoth. And it is a behemoth. Now, as much as I love No Sleep, and I do love No Sleep, I tend to perform this routine a lot more. And the reason is there's a little bit more to it. No Sleep is very quick. It's like, look, I've got 5 cards, you hold this card, I'll hold these 4, boom, they change places. There's a lot of magical moments in this routine, which is great, especially as there's no setup. It's a shuffle deck in use. You can do it anytime, anywhere, which is great. And you've got so many moments, so you have them pick a card that, you know, you then have this wonderful wild card, mini wild card type sequence, which is where the Paul Gordon reference comes from. And then immediately they change into 4 aces. And then as soon as they change into 4 aces, you say, well, do you remember the prediction you put in your pocket? Everybody thinks that that's going to be the signed card, but that's actually the 4 aces, and you've got that kickback, and that's where No Sleep came from. This is genius routining by Chris. I love how he's taken 2 strong commercial routines and mashed them together into one routine that really works for him and his audiences. And not only does it work for him, it works for me, and I'm pretty sure that once you watch this being performed, it'll be working for you as well. So let's look at a full performance of Diminishing Most Likely, by Chris Congreave. Okay, Jack, we're going to do something with a pack of playing cards, all right?
Nice.
And you, my friend, are going to pick a card. Now, normally I wouldn't see it, but as you're behind the camera, I'll see it. Which one would you like as I go through?
Stop.
That one there, the 7?
Yep.
Cool. And I'm just going to write your name on it so we know that it is definitely your card. I'm going to put Jack.
That's fair.
There we go, just like that. Now, before I go any further, by the way, we need a kind of a prediction. So just say stop.
Stop.
Right there. I'm going to take that card without looking at it, put it down here in my pocket. That's the prediction. We'll get back to that a little bit later on, okay?
Okay.
Now, you got to remember, normally I would not know that you've picked the 7 of diamonds, right? But obviously I do know, but whatever. There's your card. We're going to pop it about halfway down. About halfway, yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to manipulate the cards in any way. All I'm going to do is take the top 4 cards of the deck off. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right?
Yep.
Now, these 4 cards, believe it or not, will tell me everything I need to know about your card. No, seriously. You see, the first card right here, it tells me your card is a red card, because that card's here is a red card. The second card, this one right here, tells me it's a diamond, because that one there is a diamond. This third card here, this one tells me it's a 7, because obviously that's a 7. And the final card, which is this one here, tells me how you sign your name. Your card was the 7 of diamonds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know the whole thing was an illusion. You can't have 4 7s in one deck.
Of course.
And we haven't got 4 7s in one deck. If I snap my fingers, I can break the illusion, and you can see that what we actually have here are the 1, 2, 3, 4 aces.
What?
We don't actually have the 4 7s. We have the 4 aces. It would be impossible to have 4. What were they? 7s. That would be impossible. Yeah. Do you know why?
Why?
Do you remember I put a card in my pocket from the very beginning? Yeah.
No.
This card here. If this was your card, would that be good?
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, but these are the 4 aces, my friend.
Wait, what?
And these cards here, there's only one, and it's actually the 7 of diamonds.
What?
Okay, so trick number 2 I want to talk about. The reference number here is page number 45. This is another one by Chris Congreave. This is Dr. Daley's Mystery by Chris Congreave. And this is another example of Chris mashing 2 routines together. And it's something that he does really well. Chris, I've spoken about him on the channel before. He's a great creator. He's a great innovator. He's a great thinker. But one thing he does really well is take multiple routines and mash them up together. And I've seen other people do that before, and they take like 2 routines and mash them up. And what you end up with is a hot mess and just a congealed soup of rubbish. But when Chris does this, it's almost like magic happens every single time. This is the perfect example. He's taken the classic Dr. Daley's last trick, which is the packet trick where you've got 4 aces and the black aces and the red aces change places, and he's thrown the mystery card plot into there as well. So you've got this whole mystery card plot. And if you've never, by the way, done mystery card, which was first popularized by Brother John Hammond, if you haven't ever tried a mystery card style routine, it really bakes the head of the audience and the spectators. And I think one of the reasons is you've pointed out that that card is going to be there from the very, very beginning, and you tell them to keep an eye on that card. You then do the whole routine, and at the end, it ends up being the selected card. What's nice about this is by combining it with Dr. Daley's last trick, you can have that really interesting hook of, hey, let me show you the difference between a magic trick and a miracle. Now, there is a really ballsy move in this routine at the end, and I've shown it to a couple of magicians in the past, and they've gone, oh, wow, that's really discrepant. It flies past the audience. You'll know the move that I'm talking about when you see the routine, and it flies past the audience. Don't think as a magician, oh, that's not going to work because of that move. Absolutely does. I've done this so many times and nobody ever sees anything. There are other ways to do it if you don't want to do that move, and Chris talks about that in the actual book. But in all honesty, that's the way I do it. It's such a killer routine. I highly recommend you learn it. Let's have a look at a full performance of Dr. Daley's Mystery by Chris Congreave. Right, I've got another card trick here for you, Jack. Is that all right?
That's fine.
And again, this is a shuffle deck in use anytime, anywhere. And I will give the cards a bit of a shuffle. Now, it's really important that before we start, we put a mystery card down on the table, okay? And you're going to decide, in fact, you're going to make all the decisions, but you're going to decide the mystery card. So as I cut cards onto the table, just say stop.
Stop.
Right now?
Yep.
That will be our mystery card.
Sounds good.
We're not going to look at it. Do you know why?
Why?
It's a mystery. If you look at it, it's not mysterious anymore. It's just a card.
Makes sense.
Not a mystery card. Now... I could get you to pick a card, but I'm going to be really fair about this and have you name a card.
Any card.
Any card you want to.
Jack of spades.
Okay, we'll get back to that a little bit later on. I'm going to take out the 4 aces. So we've got the ace of clubs, the ace of hearts, the ace of spades, the ace of diamonds. We won't even use the rest of the cards. All we need are the 4 aces. All right?
Makes sense.
So I'm going to show you the difference between a magic and a miracle. Because there is a difference. You can see the difference between magic and a miracle. Magic typically uses sleight of hand, and I'm going to use these 4 aces along with some sleight of hand to show you kind of a bit of a miracle. Well, a bit of a magic trick, really. I'm going to take this card right here. That's the Ace of Clubs. Yeah?
Yep.
That one goes right there underneath the mystery card. That leaves us with 3 cards. And I'll take the other black ace, the Ace of Spades, and that goes on top of the mystery card. Now, if you've been paying attention, you'll know that that leaves the red aces here, right?
Yep.
Now watch. This is a magic trick. Did you see it happen?
No.
See, what's happened is I've now got the black aces there.
What?
Yeah, seriously, which means over here I've got the red aces, which is pretty good, right?
That's very good.
But that's only a magic trick. That's not a miracle.
Oh.
A miracle would be this. You chose this card to put down on the table from the very beginning.
Yep.
From the very beginning, that card was there.
Yep.
And then after that, you then named a card.
That is.
What was the card again?
Jack of Spades.
I think that is nothing short
No.
of a miracle.
No.
Yes. Okay, so trick number 3 I'm going to be talking about from the book is Mystery Card 2.0. Mystery Card 2.0 by Gary Jones. Now, this is page number 49. I'm telling you, the 40s in this book are golden. That's what you guys need to take from this. Page number 49, Mystery Card 2.0 by Gary Jones. So what is Mystery Card 2.0? Well, I mentioned in the last trick that I did that I love the mystery card plot. I do love the mystery card plot. I'll be honest with you, when I first saw this routine and I first read it, I was like, that's not going to work. There's no way that's going to work. That's a bit... And then I tried it on Sarah. I did the wife test and it blew her away. And then I did it on Ryland and it blew him away. And then I showed some magic mates and it blew them away. And then I started doing it in the real world and it kills. And I think one of the reasons that I was a bit unsure about it is because normally with a mystery card plot, you take the mystery card and you put it either on the table or in the card box or somewhere, and people are aware that that card's there. They can see it the whole time. With this routine, you're putting the card face down into a face-up deck, and I was a bit worried at first that putting the card face down into the face-up deck would maybe lessen the impact of that card eventually turning into the signed card. But I'm telling you right now, it doesn't, because it's reversed. There is a certain clarity to this. Now, the other thing that I really like about this routine is the streamlined nature of it. What Gary has done is he's taken every single convoluted action that you could possibly imagine, and he's streamlined it down to make it a routine that is almost completely self-working. If you can do a double undercut and you can do a tilt or a depth illusion, that's really all you need to do. It's within the grasp of even a beginner magician. But it is so powerful. And I love the sequence. Look out for the sequence when you see the performance in a second. Look out for the sequence where you show that there's no cards on top and you show there's no cards on the bottom. This is typical Gary Jones genius, because in that really seemingly innocuous action of just saying, hey, is your card anywhere near the top? Hey, is your card anywhere near the bottom? By doing that, what you're actually doing is you're reversing the indifferent card. You're putting the card that they've picked into the position. It's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And obviously, it's just like every routine in this book, it's super commercial. No table is required. It's engaging. It's quick. It's visual. It involves a signed card. All the spectators are getting involved. It's very easy to do. There's no angle issues. It's a shuffled deck in use. There's no setup. The list goes on and on and on. If you like mystery cards and you want to do a mystery card that really is baffling, this is the one to go for. So remember, it's on page number 49, Mystery Card 2.0 by Gary Jones. Let's have a look at a full performance. Okay, so Jack, I'm going to show you something with a deck of playing cards.
Nice.
Okay, 52 cards, 52 possibilities. If you were here without holding a camera, you could shuffle these. I'll shuffle them for you. And the first thing that we need is a mystery card. So just like in the last trick, we need a mystery card. So do me a favor. Well, you can't do that because you're holding the camera. Just say stop.
Stop.
Right there?
Yep.
That one there?
That one, yeah.
Cool. So that's going to be our mystery card.
Nice.
And we're going to pop it somewhere down into the middle of the deck. And I want you to see that that card really is right there, down in the middle of the deck, okay?
100%.
And just so we know we don't know exactly where it is, I'll give the cards a couple of cuts just to make sure it's lost. All right? Now, we're going to need another card, not that mystery card. We're going to get back to that mystery card. So we need another card. So I'm going to dribble down through the cards. You just say stop. You can stop on any card, but if you stop on that card that's turned the other way, just ignore it. Okay. Because obviously we don't want that card picked.
Stop.
There?
Yep.
That one there, are you sure?
100%.
Perfect. So normally at this point, I would have you sign the card. So let's get it signed. I would not normally see the card. But because you can't sign anything at the moment, Jack, I'm going to sign it for you. All right?
Makes sense.
So, this 10 of diamonds is completely unique because it's the only one with your name on it, right?
Yep.
I'm going to pop that card. I want you to see that I really am leaving it about halfway down. Yeah?
Yep.
Gone. And I'll give the cards a couple of cuts as well, just to make sure it's lost and we don't know where it is. So somewhere in here, we've got your signed card, and we also have that mystery card. Can you just confirm for me, please, that your card, the one that you signed, is nowhere near the top of the deck? Because sometimes magicians do sneaky stuff, and they make cards go near the top of the deck. It's nowhere near the top of the deck, right?
Nope, nowhere near.
And likewise, it's nowhere near the bottom. It's not like I've somehow made it go to the bottom of the deck. That was Sarah's card. It's nowhere near the top or the bottom. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's got to be in the middle.
It's got to be somewhere there. Now, here's the thing. If I told you that I could find your card without doing anything, would that be good?
That'd be very good.
Because you see, if I told you that I'd already found your card before you even picked it, would you believe me?
No.
See, I knew what card you'd pick before you even picked a card. Because if you remember at the very beginning of this trick, what you did is you took a random card out and you put it in the middle of the deck facing the other direction.
Yep.
And that was there from the very beginning.
Mystery card.
In fact, if we spread through, you can see that there's that face-down card. It's not like there's loads of face-down cards. That is the only face-down card in the other direction in that deck.
Yeah.
It's been there before you even picked a card. But that card right there means that I don't need to find your card. You know why?
Why?
Because this card that's been turned over in the deck from the very beginning, that one, Jack, is the card that you signed.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the next routine we're going to be looking at is the No Palm signed card to box by Gary Jones. Here it is, the No Palm signed card to box by Gary Jones. And for your reference, this is page 99. So page 99 of the book, No Palm signed card to box. Now this is another example of mashing two routines together. I talked earlier on about how Chris had taken a mystery card plot and the last trick of Doc Daley, and he'd mashed it together into a really cool routine. Well, Gary Jones has that ability as well. And what he's done, interestingly, is he's taken the same trick. So he's taken the last trick of Doc Daley, but he's combined it with a signed card to box, but with no palming. And what's really interesting here, and what I really like, is seeing how Chris and Gary approach the way that they actually create and routine their tricks, right? Because they've got the same starting points, a regular shuffle deck of cards in use, with no gimmicks and no setup. But what we've done here is Gary's gone in one direction and Chris has gone in the other direction. And I think the important point to note here is it is not a mystery card. I showed it to a magician once and he went, oh, that's nice, a nice mystery card. It's not a nice mystery card routine because it's not a mystery card routine. They think the box is empty. So you just take the cards out of the box is put down to one side. You then do the last trick of Doc Daley, but it becomes even more impressive because the cards are being isolated inside the box. You've then got the change between the black and the red aces, excuse me, which is the Doc Daley part. But then when you take out the red aces and you show the black aces, a card has appeared in between those black aces, and that's the signed card. And the way it gets there is just genius. And like I say, no palming. If you learn, I think one of the reasons I love this book so much is because you learn a lot more than just the tricks themselves. If you actually study the tricks and the methodology behind them, and you actually think about the thinking behind these tricks and how they've actually been constructed and created and routines, you will learn so much about creativity. Gary and Chris are so creative. They really are. And you see this shining through in every single trick they do. Let's have a look at a full performance of the No Palm signed card to box. Right, Jack, you're going to help me out with the trick. Is that okay?
Yeah, man.
Now, I should tell you, just to save time, I took 4 cards and put them on top of the deck.
Oh.
The 4 aces, because we are going to need the 4 aces for this trick. So those are on top of the deck. The reason I've put them on top of the deck is I need them for this trick, so I don't want you to pick any one of the 4 aces.
I can do that.
But you are going to pick another card. So as I go through, which one would you like?
I will take the 7.
The 7?
Yep.
Okay. You sure you want the 7?
100%.
Perfect stuff. So I'm going to write your name on here. So we got Jack. Yeah.
Yep.
And now that 7 is unique. Now, this is not about finding your card. You have got a card here, and we are going to get back to it in a bit, but it's not really that important. So I'm going to pop it about halfway down in the deck. We'll get back to it in a bit, okay? The important thing are these 4 aces that we left on top, right? And the reason these are important is because I'm going to demonstrate for you some pickpocketing.
Oh.
But instead of using a wallet and using money, I'm going to use the 4 aces, all right?
Money.
And this card box right here, this is going to represent someone's pocket. And what we'll do is we'll take the 2 black aces. So I'll take the ace of spades, and I'll put that one right there inside the box. There it goes, right there inside the box, yeah?
Yep.
And I'm going to take the other black ace, which I think was the ace of clubs, and I'm going to put that one right there in the card box as well. So that's the 2 black aces are going to be like your money inside your wallet, right?
Yep.
Now, in order to get the money out your wallet, what I have to do is replace it with something. I can't just take the money out your wallet, you'd feel it, so I have to replace it. And that's why the 2 red aces are here. I'm going to try and take your money out the wallet by replacing the money with these 2 red aces here. And it kind of looks like this, watch. Did you see it happen?
No.
Yeah, seriously, because now I've got the 2 black aces here.
What?
Which means that over here, I've got the 2 red aces. Now, I understand how that works, but here's the weird thing. I have got the 2 red aces, but there's actually 3 cards now. See, there's the ace of diamonds, there's the ace of hearts, but this card has appeared in between them. And I don't understand this. I can kind of get the whole pickpocketing thing, but do you know what I don't understand?
What's that?
I don't understand how that card right there is the card that you signed.
No bloody way.
Yes, bloody way. Okay, so the final routine we're going to be looking at, routine number 5, is Vanishing Point by Gary Jones. And this is page number 139 for your reference. Gary credits Costa Kimlet for this. He says that it's inspired by a Costa Kimlet routine. I hadn't seen this before starting to read the book. And I absolutely love this routine. This is my favourite routine out of all of the 5 that I'm about to show you. Because if anyone's seen me perform before and you see my card in the box routine and the type of magic I perform, I love that misdirection type stuff where things are happening and people don't realise, like loading a bag underneath a chop cup and something like that. Well, what we have here is we have that. We have a routine where, and it's a great intro into a sandwich routine. If you're going to do a sandwich routine, this is a great first phase, where you put the kings to one side, you have someone pick a card, and when you go back and look for the kings, they've gone, and they're face up in the middle of the deck with the card that they've just picked in between them. It's a very ballsy move. It's the sort of thing that, I know some magicians are going to watch this and go, oh my God, that's quite ballsy, and it is, but that's the sort of magic I like. Loading a card underneath someone's watch, loading a bag under a chop cup right under their nose, loading a deck underneath a card box, all that sort of stuff I absolutely love. This is genius thinking by Gary. This is absolutely amazing. I love this. I love this so much. If you don't do this, you need to do it. 139 of this book is actual gold. Let's have a look at it, because this is my favourite routine of the 5 that I'm performing for you. Jack, would you like to see one of my favourite tricks?
Of course.
Okay, this is another shuffled deck in use.
Nice.
So anytime, anywhere, I'll give the cards a bit of a shuffle. Perfect. So the idea is really simple. What we're going to do is we're going to use the 2 kings for this. So we're going to use the 2 red kings. We'll go for the 2 red kings. So the king of diamonds and the king of hearts.
All
right?
Kings.
Well, not all the kings, just 2 of the kings. We're going to go with 2 of the kings, all right?
Yep.
And I want you to watch really carefully. The 2 kings are going to they're going to help me find a card that you're going to pick in a minute, okay? We'll put them there. We'll get back to them in a minute. Jack, keep an eye on those kings, all right?
Oh, I'm watching them.
Good stuff. Now, here's the thing, Jack. I need you to pick a card. So the best way to pick a card is to riffle down the deck with my thumb and say stop. So anytime you want to, say stop.
Stop.
Cool. Now, I don't want you to look at that card. I want you to look at this card. Can you look at that card for me there, Jack?
I got it, yeah.
Very important you remember it, okay?
100%.
Because later on, if I go, this is your card, and you've forgotten, it's not a very good trick.
Oh, of course.
Now, watch. Do you see this? If I snap my fingers, the kings find your card. Do you know how?
How?
Well, look at the box, Jack. The kings have gone.
Wait, what the...
They've vanished.
What?
And do you know why they've vanished?
No.
Look at this. Down in the middle of the deck, there's 2 red kings.
No.
The kings jumped from the card box to in the middle of the deck, but there's 1 card in between them and 1 card only. You're not going to believe this, Jack, but that was your card.
What the... What?
Okay, guys, that is another 5x5 in the bag, as Ryan would say. Thank you once again for joining me here for another 5x5. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. And if you want to see me do another 5x5 on Alas Christian Jones, or you want to see me do another 5x5 on anything, it doesn't have to be just Alas Christian Jones, please let me know. And I'm going to be back again tomorrow, Tuesday, with a Talk Magic at 9 o'clock, a Shorts at 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock I'm going to be here with the Magic Live, and don't forget, Wednesday I've got the podcast, the Magic Podcast, with me and Lloyd Barnes. That goes up at 9 p.m. GMT. Guys, thanks very much for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic.